I gave a speech talking about an experience I had at a camp. And part of the experience was that we went up a tall hill. We had to hike up it. There were rocks everywhere. It was really difficult to climb. And once I got to the top, I shared that as I looked up, there was a tall tower. Coming out of the top of this tower was a zip line. After I just recently found out that the only way I was getting down this mountain was to zip line, I realized this was going to be a very interesting adventure. So I'll pick up where I left off, which was standing on a platform, looking up at this tower. And this tower that had the zip line coming out of it, it went so far, it went back into the trees. I was given a suit. It weighed about 10 pounds. I put this suit on. The reason they gave us a suit was because in order to get to the top of this tower, you had to go up what they called the bridge. Now, they said bridge to keep you relaxed. Literally, this thing was about 8 inches wide. And they built this thing assuming that children and kids that were coming were gonna be a little over 4 feet tall. I'm not quite that tall. So they had it designed where on either side of this little plank of wood that was the bridge, they had long ropes that started from the platform and went all the way up to the top of the tower. They took my vest and they clipped these plastic little wires from the rope on the bridge to my vest, and the other one clipped my vest to the other rope on the bridge. I'm completely weighed down. This vest is so heavy. Not to mention, it goes past my knees, so I can only walk like this. I'm looking up at this bridge. The incline gets to the point where it's probably about a 45-degree incline. I start walking up it. And I look on either side of me, and the only thing keeping me from falling off this bridge on either side is those plastic little ropes. I don't really feel like trusting my entire life to plastic. I don't really know about you, but I wasn't super excited about it. Working on this project this week and learning to look at the positive, it made me think back to this adventure. And even though I didn't have a lot of things to make me feel protected and to feel safe, I had to look at what was so great about this experience that I might be missing. First off, I noticed I got to do something I had never done before. I was about to go on a zip line. So I kept walking up. The bridge started getting really wobbly. I was holding on tight to my vest, so afraid of falling. And all of a sudden, again, I thought, but you know what? I've never got to go up a wobbly bridge like this and been afraid of falling. Another great experience. Kept going. Got to the point where the incline was so steep, I was afraid I wouldn't be able to take another step. Thankfully, there was a staff member at the very top, and he reached down and he grabbed the front part of my vest, and he started pulling to pull me up the bridge. That was helpful, with the exception of the fact that he was going so fast that I could barely keep up. And again, I'm walking like this with nothing on either side of me and plastic to hold on to my life. And he's pulling me like this. I promise you, it was not the most wonderful or peaceful experience of my life. But again, try to find the positive. Positive was this. Within about 5 seconds, I was at the top of the platform, looking down probably about 200 feet, and I was seeing the entire campsite from a whole new height. It was beautiful. But now, we reached our final problem. I walked up to get hooked up to the zip line, now that I had made it to the top of the tower. Oh no, I don't think you're tall enough for us to hook you up. I thought, are you kidding me? So, again, seeking positivity in a way to solve the problem, I requested someone perhaps lift me up so they could hook me to the mechanism. It worked. So, they told me they were going to count down, and on 1, they were going to count down from 3 to 1. And once they hit 1, they were going to release us. And I was there, strapped in, ready, looking at what looked like hundreds of feet in front of me, a rope that I was about to slide down. And in that moment, it was silence. 3, 2, 1. Psst. And you could hear yourself going down the line, and the breeze went by you, and you looked, and as I was looking down, I could see the path that I had just walked up, everything that I had just walked through, and I glanced back at the bridge that I had just tried to pull my way up, and when I finally reached the top of it, I looked back and I looked at everything that I had accomplished. And finally, and a little bit too fast, I wish it hadn't gone as fast as it did, I reached the bottom of the zip line. They unhooked me, and I was on the ground again. Sometimes we can get so lost in the little obstacles, the little things that really shouldn't matter as much as we make them matter. Sometimes we just have to be more focused on what our ultimate goal is and looking past all the little things that we let upset us. And as each of those things, the bridge and not being able to be hooked up and then being slightly afraid of going down a zip line for the first time, once you look past all that, you'll find yourself going down the line and looking back down at everything you accomplished. My encouragement to you is this: focus on the positive, so that way you can get where you're wanting to go. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.